is also holding a public hearing to hear public comment on proposed local law P2, a local law adding Part 4, Public Safety Management Compensation, inclusive of Article 30, entitled Police and Fire Management Compensation, to Chapter 52, Emergency Services, to the City Code of the City of Plattsburgh. I will now entertain a motion to open the public hearing on proposed local law P2 of 2021. Motion by Councillor Gibbs, second by Councillor Canalis. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the public hearing is now open. Is there anybody in the attendees who would like to make public comment on this local law adding Part 4, Public Safety Management Compensation? I will now recognize Andrew Wiley. Okay, DA Wiley, you are now, if you don't mind unmuting yourself.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Well, thank you.
So I was contacted by Brad Keroy, Jared Trombley. Obviously, they expressed some concerns about this local law and requested that I speak to you briefly tonight about it. The city of Plattsburgh obviously has been somewhat without leadership. City Police Department, I apologize, for some time now. And it's extremely important, I think, that the city council look at this local law and adopt it. One of the reasons the city police department, I think, has been with a leadership issue and continues to have been for a number of years is the aspect of pay and the rate of pay and the compensation, as well as the benefits that they need. A lot of qualified individuals are moving to other law enforcement agencies, to other job opportunities that provide those benefits. And we face the same thing here in the DA's office. Obviously, with my assistants, I can only pay them so much, and there's very little movement that they can go to, so they seek other employment. So it's difficult to continue to keep highly qualified individuals. And we do have highly qualified individuals in the city police department now. So I certainly support this law being passed to provide those benefits that are set forth in the local law for your consideration. Certainly, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those. As you know, we work directly with the city police department and have done so successfully during my tenure.
Thank you, Mr. Wiley.
Thank you, Mayor.
Is there any other attendee present who would like to make a comment on the local law P2 adding Part 4, Public Safety Management Compensation? Mr. Esco.
Thank you, Mayor. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
I would like to also offer my support into this local law. Having spent over 20 years in management of the Plattsburgh Police Department, the last 14 years of my career as chief of police, it was very difficult working with the membership, trying to get qualified people to go into it and feel that comfortable level. So I really commend you and the council for the work that you've done here and trying to rectify this problem. We have a great police department, great personnel that want to move up and have long, prosperous careers. And so I offer my support. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in attendance who would like to comment publicly on the local law P2? I will, just out of courtesy, I will ask again, and if there's anybody else in attendance who would like to comment on proposed local law P2? Okay, seeing none, I will now entertain a motion to close the public hearing portion of this meeting regarding local law P2 of 2021. Motion by Councillor Gibbs, second by Councillor Canalis. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. That public hearing is now closed. And just to give you all an update, we do have live streaming now on YouTube, so I do appreciate your patience. I will now recognize those in the audience who wish to share their thoughts and concerns with the council on any topic. Please raise your hand on the Zoom chat to be acknowledged, and when called upon, we please ask that you state your legal name and address for the record. In accordance with the organizational rules of order, all speakers will be given 5 minutes to address the council. Ms. Bond. Ms. Bond, if you could unmute yourself, you are in the panelist now.
Okay, sorry about that, you guys.
No worries.
Everybody should know who I am, although there is a couple of new people. So I am the manager of the Plattsburgh Farmers and Crafters Market. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you to the city and to the councilors for giving the market the opportunity to become part of Harborside's playground, so to speak. It's going to be great being part of that community that is going to evolve down there. And I really, really think it's going to be great for us. I wanted to say thank you to Ethan Vincent and Matt Miller. They have worked diligently to make sure that all of our needs were met, and anything we needed to have done, they did it for us. And I also want to thank John Ruff, because he has been working really closely with me since we're going to be very close neighbors and having everything work out. And it's going to be great being down there. And I just really want to say thank you to the city.
Thank you. Are there any other attendees who would like to comment? Any other attendees who'd like to comment? Okay, seeing none, we will now go on to committee reports. Each standing committee is chaired by a councillor, and I will call on the chairperson of each committee, starting with City Operations, Councillor Mick Farland.
Yes, we had our meeting on Monday. We passed some resolutions forward to this council to discuss and vote on today. Our next meeting will be next month, but other than that, no further updates.
Thank you. Finance and Community Development. We did have our meeting last Thursday. A number of resolutions have been passed to the council, along with the report for the March financial report, which outlines the city's expense and revenue to date. I will say that we are nicely on track at this time of the year to come in at about 17 to 18% under budget of our payroll expense for the year. If we can maintain that track, which we do expect to maintain that track throughout the rest of the year, if not do a little bit better. And I do appreciate everybody's patience as we get those kinds of reports out and sorted. City Infrastructure, Councillor Moore.
I don't have much to report this time. I just wanted to comment to everybody that Councillor Kat Talon and myself had done a tour of the Public Works department and was
Public Safety, Councillor Gibbs.
Yes, we have.
Councillor Moore. Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes. Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Gibbs,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland, Councillor Moore,
yes,
Carried. I will now entertain a motion to approve the bills audited by the Common Council for the week ending April 16th, 2021 in the amount of $479,570.46. Councillor Gibbs, second by Councillor Moore. Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Gibbs,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland, Councillor Moore,
yes,
Carried. Before voting on the following resolutions, I will note that the majority of the resolutions have been discussed thoroughly by the appropriate committees and department heads. We're now taking action on these items in large part due to the recommendation of those committees. Ms. Carlin, will you please read the titles of the resolutions to be acted upon?
Item 7.43, adoption of local law P-1 of 2021, a local law renaming, amending, and restating Chapter 254, peddling and soliciting of the City Code of the City of Plattsburgh. Once renamed, Chapter 254 will be entitled Food Trucks.
Motion by I apologize. My internet's acting a little wonky, it seems like. Can I take another motion? I didn't see a motion.
A motion.
Motion by Councillor Canalis, second by Councillor Kelly. Discussion.
I will say this was discussed in the City Operations Committee meeting, and I'm fully in support of this local law. It seems like a great move forward. Hopefully we can get a lot more food trucks operating in the city, and I look forward to it.
Is there any further discussion? Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Gibbs,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.44, adoption of local law P-2 of 2021, the local law adding Part 4, Public Safety Management Compensation, inclusive of Article XXX, entitled Police and Fire Management Compensation, to Chapter 52, Emergency Services, to the City Code of the City of Plattsburgh.
Motion by Councillor Moore, second by Councillor Gibbs. Discussion.
Yes, I have a couple questions. First, I do know that in regard to police, this has been a long discussed issue. It came up multiple times before. We don't have any lieutenants, and anyone between Captain Keyroy and the rank and file of sergeants. And so I know that's been discussed, and I know this was also discussed a lot in the budget conversations last year. And I know Councillor Gibbs really fought hard to make sure that there was line items in the budget for lieutenants and to get a nice our compensation package approved so we could have mid-level management in the police department. I will also note that it was recommended by the public safety panel. I will note, though, that I haven't heard this conversation discussed with the fire department. I'm not saying that it's not an issue with the fire department, but I have not heard anything come up that we have a hard time filling management roles in the fire department. So I'm curious if this is an issue in the fire department. I don't think it was discussed as far as the budgetary issues of the fire department and making room for a change in compensation to the managers at the fire department during the budget. So my questions become specifically, how much does this affect the budget? Namely, how does it affect pay for the police department and for the fire department? And is the fire department, is this a budgeted item, as I believe it is under the police department, or would this require a budget amendment? And secondly, I did know that we did see two people speak in favor of the law. One was Desmond Rassico, and the other was DA Wiley. And DA Wiley mentioned that I believe you mentioned that Captain Keroy and Detective Trombley had some concerns regarding the law, but I didn't hear what those were. So if they have concerns, I'd like to hear what they are.
Okay, so speaking of specific to the fire, we had that discussion internally, and because of that, we did add language to this local law to address that. This local law doesn't allocate, hire, or assume hiring of anybody in those departments. It simply sets a management package. It simply sets the management package and the management package guidelines for those two departments. The budgeted item, there is no budgeted hiring for middle management in fire, so that this does not address that. And again, there has been no plans for 2021 budgeted plans or any structural changes in terms of hiring people into that into those roles. The budgeted items for police, as you noted, were added as part of this budget, 2021 budget, to fill in the lieutenant role, well, 2 lieutenant roles into this budget. As far as the concerns from Captain Keroy or anybody else, I don't know if Captain is on the line now, but I will say the conversations that I've had were more of a concern for ensuring that a package was completed and passed. But I'm not going to put any words into those folks' mouth. I do see Captain Keroy is on the line, so I'm more than happy to have him comment on any concerns that he has about passage of this local law.
Thank you, Mayor. So my concerns were met by this local law. So my concerns have always been that it's very difficult, if not impossible, to entice somebody to leave the protection of the union without concrete and known benefits and a salary scale. And in past years, we've had resolution-based management packages which have changed on a regular basis. And they do not provide the security that people who will leave the bargaining unit become accustomed to, and really no enticement to do so. And to attract the talent that is required for a management level position was simply impossible. And it was shown the last few years with our inability to attract people to be interested in these lieutenant positions. This law, I believe, rectifies that, and I believe that it will allow us to move forward with filling those empty positions and reestablishing middle management at the police department.
Thank you, Captain.
Thank you.
Any further discussion?
I will note that one thing that I think is the best part about this local law, and the captain touched upon this, is that since I've been a counselor, every year a management compensation package has been brought up, and they've been broader than this and involved all city management. But it was something that I never liked because it was brought up every year. I do think that having something set down, especially in a local law instead of a resolution, gives a lot of stability and some certainty when our managers do come into their positions. They should be able to plan for the future and know that stuff. So that is certainly one thing I like about this proposal.
Thank you, sir. Any other further discussion? Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Gibbs,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
Yes.
Councillor Moore,
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.45, whereas the town of Plattsburgh and the city of Plattsburgh have been in communication with each other in an effort to enhance cooperation and to resolve existing matters involving litigation and other issues. Now therefore be it resolved in accordance with the request, therefore the mayor is authorized to sign the Plattsburgh Compact between the city and the town incorporated herein by reference in a form approved by the Corporation Council.
Motion by Councillor Gibbs, second by Councillor Canalis. Discussion. Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Gibbs,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.46, whereas the town of Plattsburgh and the city of
Beth,
Plattsburgh.
in light of these being, I would waive a reading, move to waive a reading. 7.46, 7.47, 7.48, and 7.49, as they are all pretty interrelated.
I would second that.
Motion on the floor to waive readings of resolutions 745 through 749 pass as a bulk. I don't know how would you otherwise describe that, pass as a package, I guess. All in favor for that motion?
Aye.
I'm in favor. I will note that I don't think it includes 745 because I think we just voted on that, but yeah.
Oh, I apologize. Yep, I apologize. Okay. 746 through 749. Okay. Stand corrected. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We'll now take a motion to pass 746 through 749. Sorry, motion by Councillor McFarland, second by Councillor Gibbs. Discussion. Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Gibbs,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.50, authorizing revising capital project H5110.77 street resurfacing.
Motion. Councillor Canalis, second by Councillor Gibbs. Discussion. Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Gibbs,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland, Councillor McFarland,
Yes, please.
Councillor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
7.51, authorizing award of the design phase of Beekman Street reconstruction.
Motion by Councillor Gibbs, second by Councillor Moore. Discussion.
Yeah, can someone just tell me briefly what exactly the reconstruction is for and how that plans on going about?
Yeah, so this is the design phase of the Beekman Street full depth reconstruction. The packages went out and the bids came back. The awarding bid is going to RMS for this work, and I believe that this work is between Cornelia to Tom Miller, correct? Yep. This is the engineering award, Patrick. The design award. I'm sorry, the design award.
And is Beekman, does it need to undergo a full reconstruction, Andrew, or what exactly has to be done to Beekman?
So Beekman Street actually has one of the oldest water lines in the city. It's from 1885. So we're going to do a full depth water line replacement. Obviously now with the council approving the complete streets, we're gonna apply that to this project. There's some sections through there that don't have sidewalks, so we're gonna take a look at that, stormwater and new paving.
And how wide are you planning on making the lanes? And is there going to be a bike lane put in? And how wide will the sidewalks be?
That'll all be looked at by the design engineer.
Mike, are you and Andrew in the same room?
No, we're not.
Okay, somebody's echoing. That's all. Okay. Yeah, Councilor McFarland, we won't know what the final design is. That's what this contract is for. Thank you. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Gibbs,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.52, authorizing award of the design phase of Maryland Road waterline reconstruction.
I'm sorry. Motion by Councillor Gibbs, second by Councillor Moore. Discussion.
Yeah, can I just have like the same sort of brief update on this one?
Sure.
Councillor McFarland, might as well go right down through them. 751, 752, 753. They're all, I should say, 752 and 753 are both design proposals or for the design of the new water line. What we are is replacing the asbestos water line out in the base. These are both long stretches of pipe. I believe Maryland's in excess of 3,000 feet. The New York section, roughly at 1,800 feet, if I'm not mistaken. This is going to be the long time coming. I know we've had a lot of issues out there. The councilors who represented that area, particularly Councillor, well, now it's in that area, it would be Canalis, but we've had councilors with lots of concerns about the base and the asbestos pipe. So this is a step in the right direction.
Thank you, Mike.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Gibbs,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.53, authorizing award of design phase of New York Road waterline reconstruction.
Motion by Councillor Canalis. Oh, sorry, Councillor Canalis. Second by Councillor Gibbs. Discussion. Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Gibbs,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland, Councillor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.54, authorizing award of a design phase of South Cruz Street waterline reconstruction.
Motion by Councillor Gibbs, second by Councillor Moore. Discussion. Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Gibbs,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland, Councillor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.55, authorizing award of the design phase of the City of Plattsburgh Annual Sidewalk Improvements Program.
Motion by Councillor Gibbs, second by Councillor Moore. Discussion.
Yeah, I read the letter from AEDA and it seems pretty good. But Mike, can you just briefly explain what the sidewalk improvement program is and how that's going to operate?
For years, obviously, we've had, like our roads, a lot of complaints about sidewalks within the city. While we can't do full reconstruction like we are on Beekman Street for all the city streets, or can we afford to, what we can do is do large stretches of sidewalk. The streets are in decent shape, but their sidewalks aren't. This is the first step. This is probably something we should have been doing long ago, much like our road resurfacing program. This one is going to start, our target for this year is up by the intersection of Broad and Cornelia and run down Prospect and connect those two PSAT projects. We will do a more in-depth survey of the city sidewalks and try to, if you look at our capital budget, in future years, we're going to budget for sidewalk replacement. We have to go do this the same way we are doing about the water lines. If we don't start doing it, we're never going to get caught up.
Yeah, Councillor McFarland, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Is this to repair broken sections or are they redoing the entire sidewalk with that length that you said?
It's to redo it entire sections of sidewalk. So we're going from basically whole blocks at a time, or from this would be from a work area to a work area. The PSAP grant, we're hoping to do the Broad Street intersection, Broad Cornelia and Prospect and Cornelia, and this would connect the two. And we'd have a complete section of sidewalk done. There won't be blocks.
No, I'm not too familiar with that area of walking. Are they widening the sidewalks at all, or just replacing them exactly how they are now?
That's where the design comes in.
Okay.
If we have the ability to, that there's certain compliance or ADA compliance criteria we have to meet. Obviously, the drops, the slopes, and what have you, and we will make every effort in this program. That's the engineering.
Perfect. And does this focus on just the sidewalk itself, or does it talk about like the medians and maybe planting trees and stuff like that?
This is solely for sidewalk. I think we want to isolate. I know other communities do this. I participated in these projects in a prior career with this, and this is a good way to go about it.
Yeah, and this is just to make a note of this. This is something that Mr. Bissett and I spoke about earlier in the year regarding starting this program in earnest. $50,000 is not a lot of money, but we are looking at. Initially, we were definitely looking at extending the work that we were going to do as part of the PSAP grant, which, if you recall earlier in the year, we had to postpone the bid process for the PSAP grant given the expense of the bids that came back, but we did get permission to resubmit that for the next following year. But rather than postpone the development of this particular sidewalk, which is very problematic in the city, we decided to move forward with this sidewalk. And then next year we are looking at, much like we do repaving our streets, resurfacing our streets, or rebuilding our streets, we rebuild our sidewalks. Like Mr. Bissett noted, if we don't do this, you see it in your neighborhood, I see it in mine, everybody sees it in the city. Our sidewalks go to pot and they don't look good and they become hazardous, and we're left scrambling trying to, patch and fix and mend rather than do it the right way, the right time, and budget for it. And that's the key here, is that this $50,000 was budgeted for this work in the capital project, and we'll look to see in the future how we can continue to budget appropriately for this type of work.
Perfect. Sounds great to me.
Thanks, sir. Any further discussion on this? I will note that Councillor Gibbs has been excused for the remainder of the meeting. Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland, Councillor Moore.
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.56, authorizing award of the construction phase of the Copen Avenue Reconstruction Project.
Motion by Councillor Moore, second by Councillor Canalis. Discussion.
Yes. Is this going on the same plans that were talked about last year?
Correct. There had been no change to the plans. This was also discussed at the infrastructure meeting. There's no change to the plan that was presented to the community based on the number of community discussions that are presented to the council. So it's the same plan that was presented last year.
And so if I remember correctly, it wasn't voted on, but if I remember what was put forth was 11-foot wide lanes with parking on one side, with 4.5-foot sidewalks with every 30 feet, a 5-foot square turnaround. Is that correct?
I'll have Andrew comment on it. I don't know the structure. You're accurate that 2 travel lanes, a parking lane, and 2 sidewalks on both sides of the street is accurate. I don't know all the details of the widths and the turnarounds.
Yeah, so it'll be 4-foot wide sidewalks, and then the turnarounds they're actually making so they fall within the driveways. But as the driveways, they're making the driveways so that the driveways meet the cross slope, so we don't actually have to have bump outs in people's yards. So someone in a wheelchair could go to a driveway and use that as their pull off. So you don't have the 5-foot by 5-foot landing pads.
And we're still doing 11-foot wide lanes.
Yes, yep, you have your two 11-foot drive lanes, your parking on the east side of the road and sidewalks on both sides.
And there's no median between the sidewalk and the lane, or how wide is that? It's
Yep,
not a foot.
there's a 2-foot wide utility strip between the curb and the sidewalk.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still against anything less than 5-foot wide sidewalks and anything more than 10-foot wide lanes personally. But let's see.
We'll know that, we'll make note of that, Councillor McFarland, for Beekman Street, and then we'll assign you the engineering and design contract. I'm saying that jokingly. I'm saying that jokingly, public. That is not going to happen. Any further discussion on this item?
Yeah, there's one point I'd like to bring up. The only thing that we've appropriated for spending for Copen Avenue was $116,000 back in 2019 for the design. We haven't appropriated the full cost of this project in any capital project yet.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
No.
Councillor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.57, authorizing award of the construction management phase of Copen Avenue Reconstruction Project.
Motion by Councillor Moore, second by Councillor Canalis. Discussion. Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
No.
Councillor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.58, authorizing award of the New York State DEC Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan, SWPPP, inspection and material testing phase of Copen Avenue Reconstruction Project.
Motion by Councillor Moore, second by Councillor Canalis. Discussion.
Yeah, so obviously I missed the infrastructure meeting. If John could just give me a brief explanation of what's going on here.
Stormwater pollution prevention program plan is just as a third-party review of stormwater pollution prevention measures that are put into place by the contractor that's performing the work. Also included in this is inspection services for materials, concrete, soil compaction, and asphalt. It's all done third party, not by the the actual construction inspector or the construction management portion of it.
Thank you, Mike.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.59, authorizing amendment to capital project H8320.79, water system improvements.
Motion by Councillor Moore, second by Councillor Canalis. Discussion. Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.60, authorizing agreement WRRF disinfection and odor control upgrades.
Motion by Councillor Moore, second by Councillor Canalis. Discussion. Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Absolutely yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland. Yes.
Yes.
Councillor Moore,
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.61, authorizing agreement with Lake Champlain Basin Program, illicit discharge and elimination, IDDE study phase 2.
Motion by Councillor Moore, second by Councillor Canalis. Discussion.
Yeah, I have a brief explanation of what the illicit discharge and elimination study phase 2 is?
Yeah, so this is the second phase of this study. The first phase essentially tests our stormwater to ensure that our stormwater runoff and stormwater drains aren't mixing with our sewage drains. At the first phase of this, the first study found slight illicit discharge in some of those stormwater, which was remediated. This is the second phase of that. The second phase of that testing. This is federal funds that are being passed through Lake Champlain Basin Program, and it requires a $500 match from the city. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.62, authorizing award for chemicals for WRRF.
Motion by Councillor Canalis, second by Councillor Moore. Discussion. Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland, Councillor Moore.
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.63, authorizing award for activated carbon for water filtration plant.
Motion by Councillor Moore, second by Councillor Canalis. Discussion.
Yeah. Just a brief explanation.
Yeah, sure, Councillor McFarland. I do now have to remind you that all of our committee meetings are live streamed and you can always go back and play them back. But I'll stop doing that right now. Okay, I won't mess with you no more on that one. This is authorizing the award to purchase new activated charcoal for our water filtration plant up on Route 3. That activated carbon does have a life cycle, and we're nearing the end of the current life cycle of activated carbon that we do have now. So we're looking to purchase new and replace. Any further discussion? I'm just messing with you, Councilor McFarland. We can talk about this all day.
I know.
Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.64, authorizing budget transfer, general fund, fire department, paramedic training program expenses.
Motion by Councilor Canalis, second by. I'll take a second by Councilor McFarland. Discussion. Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.65, authorizing budget transfer, general fund, police motor vehicle repairs.
Motion by Councilor Canalis, second by Councilor McFarland. Discussion. Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
No.
Councillor Moore.
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.66, authorizing budget transfer, major funds budget adjustments for telephone cost reallocation.
Motion by Councilor Moore, second by Councilor Canalis. Discussion. Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland,
Yeah.
Counselor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.67, authorizing revising capital project H8320.79, 2019 water system improvements.
Motion by Councillor Moore, second by Councillor Canalis. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Canalis,
Yes.
Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland,
Yes.
Counselor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.68, authorizing the Chamberlain to transfer rec complex fund, beach materials and supplies and contract services.
Motion by Councillor Moore, second by Councillor McFarland. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Canalis,
Yes.
Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland,
Yes.
Counselor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.69, authorizing budget adjustment to the rec complex fund budget for building demolition.
Motion by Councillor Canalis, second by Councillor Moore. Discussion.
Yeah, this needs to be done. It's been there with a hole in it for
Yeah.
years now. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this being done.
I agree. This fund covers both the demolition and tipping, so it'll cover both the removal and the disposal of it. And I will, like I said, in the infrastructure committee, the last infrastructure committee meeting, I will be coming back to this council to remove the north side bathhouse as well.
Yeah, and I do like that we'll keep the electric there.
Of course. I mean, that's the beach lawn, if you will. And if we want to talk about food truck wars, that's where it will happen.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Canalis,
Yes.
Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland,
Yes.
Counselor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.70, authorizing budget adjustment to the rec complex fund budget for beach and implementation plan.
Motion by Councillor Moore, second by Councillor Canalis. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Canalis,
Yes.
Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland,
No.
Counselor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.71, authorizing a service agreement to create implementation plan for beach complex improvements.
Motion by Councillor Canalis, second by Councillor, I will pick you if you make me, Councillor Moore. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Canalis, Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland,
No.
Counselor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.72, approval of license agreement for Plattsburgh Farmers and Crafters Market.
Motion by Councillor McFarland, second by Councillor Moore. Discussion.
Well, I will say I'm excited that Ms. Bond seems to be excited for the farmers market opening and things to start happening down at the waterfront. So I look forward to this.
Is there any further discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Canalis,
Yes.
Counselor Kelly,
Yes.
Counselor Talon,
Yes.
Counselor McFarland,
Yes.
Counselor Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.73, approval of Mohawk sculpture and interpretive panel at Harborside.
Motion by Councillor Canalis, second by Councillor Moore. Discussion. I do have to note that after a number of conversations, even though it doesn't change the scope or it doesn't change the project in nature, the scope of the project has been changed. They're not going to do the garden piece. They're only going to do the installation piece. And after expressing my concern about the use of city workers to do the installation and maintenance, we're really only being requested to install the signage. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 7.74, appointment of Jacob Avery to Plattsburgh Public Library Board of Trustees.
Motion by Councillor Kelly, second by Councillor Canalis. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Item 7.75, appointment of Montisha Prather to the Board of Ethics.
Motion by Councillor Canalis, second by Councillor McFarland. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Item 7.76, approval of fee structure for venue rentals.
Motion by Councillor Canalis, second by Councillor Moore. Discussion. I do want. Yeah. So I do want to acknowledge that we did have some conversation about the fee structure, specifically about the trailer stage. The trailer stage, in the past, we have had a $200 fee attached to the rental of that trailer stage, and it also required the renter to move the stage on their own dime. We have, in the past, we have required that, and this year we're looking at increasing the expense of that and leveraging city resources to then move it based on that fee. In my mind, that expense is not too exorbitant. None of these expenses are, and again, we're looking at these fees as a reasonable way to offset the resources that the city is expending to host, clean up, maintain these venues. It's certainly not out of line with anything else any other city or municipality is doing. I will give kudos to and acknowledgement to our city clerk, who's done a significant amount of research on the fees and the fee structure. I too have done some research on the fee structure using our resources at NICOM. And sometimes, we have waived these fees for certain groups, depending on the group and the group structure and their not-for-profit or for-profit status, or discounted the fees for those groups as well. But short of that, again, the thought that went into these fees was specific to making sure that it was fair, it wasn't prohibitive, and really facilitated the use of all of our city facilities. Councillor Talon.
Mayor Rosenquist, I just think with a $500 fee, it will discourage a lot of people from wanting to use it at all. Especially since you already have to pay insurance to have events, to have electricity. If you're going to have a band playing on that stage, you have to have the insurance for the electricity, and just an extra $500, that's more than anybody usually has in their budget, because you already have to pay the bands and everything. Bands do not play for free. Like, you might have a couple of good friends that'll just play for your event for free, but chances are you're going to have to at least, pay almost $100 a band, and just it's a lot. I'm just thinking that not many people will want to take you up on that. And we want to try to encourage people in the community to make use of it. I mean, people are dying for live music right now. So they've got these great ideas. We want to have this in the park and that in the park. They want to get things going again, because it's, becoming more and more of a safer time. But just $500, just...
Well,
I would rethink that one.
I will I will say that we do already have a number of people who have applied for having events. The current fee structure is not has not dissuaded them, even though we have made it clear that there is going to be a fee structure and have proposed the fees to them. And I understand where you're coming from. You know, it's a little pricey, but it's also a part of the city resource that we need to manage and maintain. And you know, you've seen the state of that machine or that stage. It's not in great shape. It needs to be maintained. It needs to be painted. It needs to be cleaned up. So that's part of the reason why we do charge this amount.
Can I just interject a little bit too? We've also expanded the venues. So there's the gazebo now that wasn't available before to be rented. And so you're not just limited to a stage. The gazebos are an opportunity for people who might have less of a budget, but still want to be out there. So that's just my 2 cents.
That's good that the gazebos are available now. That's definitely going to help move things all around the city. That's definitely good.
Any further discussion on this item? Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Abstain.
Councillor McFarland,
No.
Councillor Moore.
Yes.
We do one more affirmative.
Sorry, point of order, Dean. Point of order with the absence of, let's see, with the absence of Councillor Gibbs and an abstention and a no vote. Where does that leave us? Does that leave us at 3-3?
So any council action requires 3 + 1 at least. It requires an affirmative vote of a majority of the common council, which would be at least 3 councillors plus the mayor. Then mayor only votes when there's a tie. Beth, what was the tally again?
It's 3 yeses. So 2 noes because Gibbs is absent and 1 abstention.
And has
So
the
it's
mayor
3 to
voted?
3.
No.
The mayor has not voted yet.
So then the mayor would vote to break the tie.
Mayor Rosenquist,
I vote in the positive.
so that is adopted.
Carried.
Item 7.7, approval of fee structure for food truck cart vendors.
Motion by Councillor Canalis, second by Councillor Moore. Discussion.
I would like to see forward momentum in all endeavors for the rest of this Common Council meeting. I think that we got a lot of good initiatives, and I think as a Common Council, we deserve to give the community here what they deserve, which is opportunity. So that's all I got.
Gotcha. Thank you. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
You know, my answer is yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.78, awarding of consulting contract for Harborside Master Plan.
Motion by Councillor Canalis, second by Councillor Moore. Discussion. Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.79, awarding of contract for real estate brokerage services.
Motion. Councillor Moore, second. Councillor Canalis. Discussion. Roll call.
Councillor Canalis, Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.80, approval of change order number 3 for the Saranac River Trail Phase 2.
Motion by Councillor Canalis, second. Councillor Moore. Discussion. I do have to say that this is the 3rd change order of the Saranac River Trail. As per the project, there is a And tell me, Michael, what is the name of that thing again? That fund?
Field change payment?
Field change. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. The field change payment, as part of the project, there was a block of money already allocated to the project that the council has already approved, in that field change payment budget. This money does come out of that budget, so there's no increased costs due to the change order.
And I will say I'm usually against change orders. This one, where the plan said it was only a foot wide, but then it gets wider as it goes down. That seems like a reasonable reason for a change order.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councillor Canalis,
Yes.
Councillor Kelly,
Yes.
Councillor Talon,
Yes.
Councillor McFarland,
Yes.
Councillor Moore,
Yes.
Carried. Is there any new business to come before this council?
Yeah, I will just bring up something I've brought up before, but it's been a little while, so I figured I'd bring it up again. We need new email. I hate our email. It sucks. And that's all I have to say about that. I'd also like to thank Michael Bissett and our city clerk, Sylvia Parrott, for help with the constituent issue. Thank you very much, Bill.
Thank you, Councillor. Any further new business to come before this council? Seeing none, I will now entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Councillor McFarland, second by Councillor Canalis. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are now adjourned. Again, thank you, folks. That was a very thick, dense meeting. I appreciate your patience in the beginning as we started to try to get our technical issues resolved, but I appreciate it, and have a great evening, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Have a good evening.
Thank you.